YouTube, what's up? Ricardo the Barber here. We're going to do a quick little fade using my Caliber Pro tools today that I got the other day in the mail. We're going to go ahead and start with the 50 cal mags. Using a one guard on the clipper, we're going to open it up, go against the grain all around the head. Now, this video is really a review / instructional video, so I'm going to be talking about the clipper a lot and how I feel about it. I'm going to go ahead and say that right off the bat. I love them big time. All right. As I'm going against the grain right now with the hair, it's cutting super easy. And again, it's not cutting a lot of hair, but it's cutting just enough. It's doing nice clean cutting, and it has a nice crunch sound, which I like a lot as you're going over the head, because I like to know what I'm cutting. I like to be able to hear what I'm cutting. And that's a big way of learning, is by hearing. You know, it's a huge way to help you. You know, because sometimes visually you won't be able to get it, but if you can hear it, you know, it helps you out big time. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my bald guideline using these 38 supers. Now these are they're very small trimmers. All right, these are substantially smaller than your wall detailers that are cordless. All right, they have some pretty good power for being that small. You know, I'm having no problem going against the grain and taking the hair down and making a nice bald guideline. These also have that crunch sound to them. I did zero gap these, and again, I do like the crunch sound whether I'm shaping up or whether I'm shaving the hair, because at least you'll know what you're getting and you know how much you're cutting. And they're doing a pretty good job. Definitely recommended. The biggest takeaway from using these is the price point. So I look online, and you know, these are like around 90 bucks. You know, super cheap. They work very good. There's a sharp blade on it. Definitely recommended. The same with the, or even, you know, more so with the 50 cal mags. Those are like just over $100 for a cordless pair of clippers that runs for 5 hours. You know, I'm gonna get some more info on that later, because there's some good driving points on why you know I recommend them big time. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to finish going around the head with the 1.5. And I do want to point out here, you know, this seems pretty easy, and it is when you're just kind of knocking the hair down, right? But when he has long hair on top, same with any of you guys, whether it be cornrows or hair twisties that he has, you don't want to cut into the long hair, you know, and you do have to be careful. So, you know, just because there's a nice line there of separation doesn't mean you're not going to screw up. Brush the hair in the direction it's supposed to be in, or naturally goes in, and cut against the grain, and just take your time. Brushing is the biggest thing, because it'll separate the hair you want to cut to the hair you don't want to cut. And you'll see right here, I have a little spot left of the clipper where the grain almost wants to bring it upwards. You can see I'm going to brush it. And see how much comes down? You see that little random patch of hair? You know, you got to hit that. So brushing helped big time. And I want to make sure I stress that, because it's something that you want to do. You know, you want to make sure you do a good job, and brushing is a big part of it. So once that's all complete, I take the all my guards off. I open the clipper up all the way, and again, the sound of this clipper, the hair it's hitting, it reminds me of the fast feeds a lot. But it's with a fade blade. So imagine the fast feeds with a fade blade that makes a lot of sound as far as cutting the hair. You know, so I'm loving them the way they fade. I love it. I never cared for the notch system on the lever, but the way I fade, it works out perfect. So here I'm using the 1/16. I'm gonna, you know, start blending from the 1.5 that I started around the head. I'm gonna blend down to that first guideline that's right below it, and I'm gonna start open. And once I feel I faded a bit, I'm gonna go with 2 notches. I'm gonna click at 2 notches, and I'm gonna start fading down. So that was 2 notches right there. I'm gonna start fading down. When I fade enough, or I feel I got enough, I'm gonna finish the last 2 notches, right? And it's gonna blend that last little guideline out. So what I wanna say here is that the way I fade normally without the notches is I go halfway and then I go closed. And since that, you know, it's 4 notches, you can go halfway and close and be exactly halfway every single time and exactly close every single time. So I think the system that they have is perfect. And again, I was never used to it, but I'm kind of out of my comfort zone now, and I think it's a great thing, because you know, you kind of want to be. And you know, if you feel like you're creating more lines, open up a notch, open it back up a notch or two, and blend above that line you think you just created. As you see here, sometimes you think you're creating lines, but when you get to the next level of fading, you know, that line really was never there because what was under it was going to go shorter too, you know. So don't get too crazy about fixing lines until you're done. There's the 2 clicks. Now I'm halfway. Starting to blend out that last line. Look how fast this is going. This is blending together beautifully, easily. So again, I want to point out these clippers are cheap. They're not expensive. A lot of clippers now are going for $400. You know, I would have never personally bought these clippers. I would never even really known about them. I'll always, you know, would have thought about them because, you know, I always think about stuff I want to buy, but I probably would have never bought them. But luckily, you know, the company sent them for free, and I tried them out. And I'm literally shocked because I didn't think that blade was even going to work that good either, and I was wrong. So, you know, I will admit I was definitely wrong on these. These things are fire. So now this was a pretty simple fade. We were going from a 1.5 all the way down the bald. And once we got that 1.5 started, we only needed the 1/16 guard to kind of, you know, blend in the middle of the top and the bottom. That's all it was 2 guards total, right? So you're gonna see me repeat the same process all the way around the head. It's no different. So I'm gonna play it in fast motion for you. You guys just kind of check it out, and you'll see that it all plays out perfectly as long as you take the same steps. All right, so now I'll get back to it. Since this is actually a review again on these calibers, I will say that, you know, I have the wall premium guards, but like the generic brand that you can buy on eBay and Amazon. And the cool thing about those is that they give you the full 10 guards, the 1/16 and a 3/16 included, with a rack for those guards. You have 10 spots on the rack. That's what I'm using in this video. And it works flawless with these clippers. The way that the guard actually sticks to the clippers, it's super snug. You don't have to worry about it falling off or breaking. They're very good guards. I recommend these over the guards they come with. But again, that's every clipper that I ever get. I never use the guards that come with them because usually they just give you whatever. Fine, you get the clipper for the clipper, you know? So I do recommend these guards. You guys definitely want to at least check into them. Most of you guys have wall premium guards, but again, I ditched mine for these generic kind because it had all 10 and it had a rack for 10. The wall system comes with 8, and then you buy the extra 2 guards separate, and the rack is 8, so you have 2 guards floating around. So that's what I did here. Again, it's just a recommendation. Check into it. You know, I got mine clear. They come in different colors. You can find a whole bunch of different colors on eBay or Amazon. Now I'm going to go around the perimeter of the head using my Profoil shaver. And again, it's just balled it out a little more for you guys that don't know what it does. It's going to get the hair all the way down to the skin, right? So when you're rubbing their head where this actual shaver is hit, it's nice and bald. It's very soft. You're just touching skin, right? So I'm going against the grain with this. And I usually just kind of feel with my hand whether I hit the hair or not very good, because sometimes it gets hard to see when there's next to nothing there. So, you know, I always keep brushing too to get rid of any excess hair that's, you know, still on the head. This way I can make sure the fade came out good. All right, so now back to the 38 Supers here. So we're actually going to use this to shape up. And I will tell you, I definitely do like them. They have that crunch sound like big time, you know. They did a good job in getting rid of the actual hair the first time around. I usually just go over it a bunch of times because that's just me when I'm shaping up. You know, sometimes your hairs move around or something. You want to make sure you go over it a bunch of times and then brush and then go over it again, you know, because different grain directions and all that. So again, these were cutting very good once I zero gapped them. I don't use any clipper or trimmer, not zero gapped. I always get straight to business. I don't care how they cut out of the box because I'll never use them out of the box. That's just me personally. I know probably a lot of you guys are like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and give these a pass, man. These things are cutting good. You can see that they're making a nice straight line across pretty easily. Not much more I can say about that. I don't always have a client that has, you know, good hair in my videos. I'm a middle-aged man. I got a lot of middle-aged friends. But my man here has very good hair, so I'm glad he, you know, stuck around for me to do a video on him, and I appreciate it. As you can see, the quality is a little better than what I normally do because of that fact. You know, you got a guy with good hair, you're gonna have a good haircut, and it accentuates how good the haircut is. So, respect to my man here. Right, hooking them up with a little bit of enhancements, just semi-permanent black hair dye, mixed 50-50 with water. You mix it up, and you use the card for the outline. You don't go crazy, but you know, it really depends on the client. Some clients like it crazy. You do what they want, simple as that. But you know, we do just enough to darken it up and make it pop. You'll see a little at a time goes a long way. If you see a big difference while you're holding a card up, you're probably doing too much, and that's not a good thing. So what I like to do is when you spray it on, you brush it in, you blend it in a little bit, right? You make sure nothing's kind of like consolidated in one little area. You blend it out a little more. You just continue that on the other side of the head. I find that a business card works the best, only because it's a little flexible, it's a little thinner, and you know, that's what you definitely want. You want something that can conform to the head and help you get them nice sharp lines. So I'm laying my client down here. This way I can go against the grain. When you go against the grain, obviously the haircut, you know, the actual shape up or whatever hair that's growing back in lasts a couple more days longer than if you don't go against the grain or if you don't use an actual razor at all. But here I have an exposed razor, Black Widow. Again, one of my favorite trusted brands. I'm just stretching the skin. Simple. Stretch the skin. Cut very lightly. Cut very slow. And then you can see the lines coming in. You know, you see a little ash line coming in, then you know you stop right on the line. See? Look how much better it makes the haircut just by going lightly and, you know, stretching that skin so you don't create any irritation. Bam, done. Look at that. Super easy. Comes out nice and sharp. Looks great. You just continue that on the other side of the head now, and you are golden. You got a nice haircut. So my biggest, you know, giveaway at the end was that the price point on these clippers and trimmers were very cheap. I recommend, it don't matter if you're new to barbering, you've got all the tools you want. I got a link for both of them below in the description. Definitely check them out. Highly recommended. Anyways, this is how the cut came out. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys watch the whole video all the way through to the end. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. I'll make sure I'll be reviewing the 9mm clipper next in the next video. Hopefully I get around to it soon. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Peace out.